Welcome to Mark O'Grady Photographic.
Today we are going to shoot some digital infrared. So that'll be shot on the Canon 5D Mark IV with the 50mm 1.4. Mark IV 1.4, yes. And I originally learned infrared photography on the Pentax SP1000 here, shooting Kodak HIE, which is a high wavelength film. And I shot with a 25A red filter, which is kind of a pretty deep red, gives your skies quite a dark black effect. And then the infrared filter I'll be using is a Hoya R72 on the Canon today. And it is so dark that you can't see through it, so you have to focus, compose, then put your filter on. So they both have different effects. The film definitely has more of a glow, but the digital is a great way to get out, especially when the light has lost that golden hour effect and you want to have some cool light in the middle of the day. The infrared's a great way to save your day, get out and shoot something that's kind of surreal looking. All right, let's go check it out.
Riding my bike has been a great way to explore these little areas around my town, because you can always pull over way easier than when you're driving. You always say, oh, I'll stop there sometime. And it's been really cool to check out this area with the black and white mindset. Thinking in infrared and seeing in infrared is seeing those glowy foliage getting brighter. Anything that's white is going to have a bit of a glow to it, and then your skies, if they're as blue as the day that I've found here, are going to go black. If that's the goal, to get them as black as possible, because then your subjects really pop. So this scene really drew me in with, of course, the picket fence and the contrast with the shadows, the window being in the bright spot on that building. I think it's an old church. And I got a neat effect. I'm going to do a before and after with these images to see the effect in its true form. So the fade from the color to this really edgy looking black and white. And then I went with a little bit even more contrast to give a graphic effect to the shape of that window. There's a lot of scenes in this one small little space, so I just kept cruising around and seeing how many shots I can get in one day. So this train was intriguing, and it's a dark scene against a bright background, and the trees again are going to go white, thinking in infrared, and some of the foliage around, of course, is going to go white. Not as white as the building, of course. So it's got a kind of a neat, it's not the top of the list photo of the day, but it's always good to explore. And this was an interesting one with the red barn, because normally red things go black when you shoot them in traditional black and white. So there's a lot of light here, and I was interested to see how the shadows would work as well under the soffit. And it ended up getting some bounced reflected light off the ground, and the infrared actually filled in the shadows, which was pretty cool. So again, it's just always great to test. Got a really good black sky on that one. And then I noticed this angular light down the side on the same building, so line that up. There's the before, and got again tons of reflected light and kind of a bit more of a glow on this side for the sky. So being side lit from the sun. The train this will be again a side lit from the sun, because the sun on the darkest one was backlit. So that's good to note for the future. Here's the before of the train. And I think I brought up the shadows a little bit, and I'm experimenting a little bit. The vertical portrait orientation seems to give me a little bit of banding, which I don't see in horizontal. These are some of the local houses along the travels in this little space, which is kind of a heritage site, but it's starting to fall apart. I couldn't find anyone to find some access to some of these places. So I just went on a quiet day. I think there's a nature camp here sometimes on the weekdays. And they only use a corner of it. So I just went on a quiet day and thought I'd just capture some of these buildings before they become broken down too much to stay. Be nice if someone would keep them afloat, because there's really neat little heritage area. You don't see construction like this very often. This is like a stucco and log building. And it's got a beautiful pond. Of course, I'm looking for some reflections. Most of these exposures are 15 to 20 seconds. So you get some smooth water. The clouds will do the same, but today we have a nice clear day for the upper atmosphere. And it's just endless compositions here. So I just constantly am looking in every direction, as many images as I can get. This one I had to go with the vertical to make sure I got that full reflection of those trees on the right to complete the composition. Always interested to see how the shadow detail with the light reflecting off all this grass. Here's a few of the roofs that have collapsed here from the weight of the snow in the winter. These construction is not really meant for the snow loads that we're getting. And this little string of cars here was endless compositions. I just thought I'd simplify a few, and I could probably go back and visit this place again with the amount of compositions looking around and constant artifacts. Having a little bit more contrast in that one. Some of these are almost a shame to put to black and white when you see these neat colors of patinas, but the black and white in my mind just has such great simplicity and even helps with the showing a bit more of a timeless look. Here's some more unsafe construction. You don't want to get too near these posts and have a lean and have them fall over with a carriage on your head. This is some of the interesting lighting scenarios with the harsh lighting of the day that really seem moody with the black and white and infrared look. This little window was broken and I got a peek in to see this heritage scene like someone just got up and went to work from, and the water pump kind of caught my eye, so I did a little comparison of the color image and then desaturated it to black and white, not being in infrared, and then put the infrared filter on to see the difference between them. And the light that bounced off the red kind of gave it a bit more pop. So that's a neat little comparison to always do a test on. And of course you can't go out without getting a photo of the bike. The bike looks old enough, it could probably be around in that era. And then on my way out, I find this neat composition with this little barn and some beautiful gradient of sky. There's a little bit of a cloud bank on the horizon, which kind of closes the gap between the two subjects. And the 50 millimeter is probably one of the the best lenses I've used for this, minus I've been told there's a little bit of fogging that happens with infrared in the dead center, which I think happened on this one here. There's just a tiny haze. But if you have your subject or enough going on that you can kind of work it in, then it's not noticeable. And again, I could endlessly walk this space and find new compositions and just come back when the light's in a different direction. And it's been great to just have a black and white mindset and go for a bike ride close to home.
For more of my work, you could find me at ogphoto.ca, and on Instagram, you can find me at ogphoto. Maybe